Seems like it's been a long time since we played. Anxious to get back out and get on the field. We've had 3 really good days of work with the group. They responded really as well as you can be expected. Not where any of us thought we'd be at this point, so you have to deal with the circumstances you're under and the disappointment of 2 conference losses that none of us in the building expected to be coming off of. But they've really handled it well. Our meetings have gone well. Our practices have been energetic, and I think just kind of a renewed sense of focus that we still are in control of our destiny, and we've still got a lot to play for, and we can't let 2 losses turn into 3. We've got to find a way to just kind of get back on track and play ball that we're capable of playing. So I'm glad we're playing at home. I love the idea that we get to play here at home. And I thought the other night we had a great crowd for it being a midweek game, and hopefully we'll have another one Thursday night. Need to find a way to beat Georgia State and move on, and just kind of to one week at a time try to find our best football and regroup and re-energize this group of guys. So that's what we're focused on doing. They present a lot of problems, for our defense in terms of a quarterback that's very hard to contain. I mean, he's a leading rusher, and they do everything they can to try to create opportunities for him. So we got to defend a lot of different formations and looks, and we got to make sure that one of the best wideouts we're going to see all year in Penny Hart is contained, and at the same time keep bodies on the quarterback. Their defense, I think, is just speed and movement, and that has presented a problem for our offensive line up to this point. So we hopefully can settle down with some things that we're doing, allow those guys to just calm down and play with more confidence, and let some of our skill at the other spots take over. If we can do that, I think we can have some success on offense. Probably just in terms of, hey, man, you're either all in or you're all out type thought process. I mean, the veterans stood up, good leadership from those guys. Really, it was just, hey, man, guys, let's do what Coach asked us to do. Let's make sure that we're pulling for the guy next to us, do the little things right, things that we know are possible. Don't want to overreact or panic. We've lost to 3 teams that are playing really, really well. You don't want to panic in this situation. So I haven't seen that. I've just seen encouragement and like I said, 3 of our best practices. And when you look up, and I think you mentioned the other day, I mean, those 3 teams are 17-2, I guess, at this point. And those only 2 losses coming to 2 top 15 type teams, and we just played 2 good teams that played well, and we didn't play our best. So I think it's been just a sense of urgency that obviously we just need to do our best, make sure there's no regrets on our end, that we go out and do our part, and that's what I think the leaders and the veterans of our football team. That's kind of the attitude I think I've seen.
As an offense, I think we're kind of done talking about it, because you got to kind of move on and try something different. But, right around the 30-yard line, 25 to 30, in that area has obviously been a problem. We haven't seemed to, we get there and we're not able to get a first down or, really the last couple of weeks. And that's been, the spot or the area on the field. Within that, the week before Georgia Southern, it was some miscommunications that led to some sack, to a sack or whatever. And then the 4th and 2, we had a miscommunication and had an MA. And this past week we didn't have those, but we didn't execute, So it's still the same. You're still getting the same result. So, where we've tried not to kind of take a different approach for the last, 4 or 5 weeks. That's all we've just hammered. We got to finish. We got to finish. We got to finish. So now we're going to take another approach and just go out and try to play good, clean football. Don't worry about where we're at on the field, and see if we can find a way to overcome that hurdle that seems to be in our way. This past week it was a couple 3rd and 2s and a 4th and 2. So we were actually ahead of the chains and ahead of the sticks, where the previous week we weren't ahead of the chains and ahead of the sticks. This time we were, and just weren't able to come up with the first down on the short yardage situations, and we've got to be better in those.
I think we've come a long ways. I think that we've gotten better each and every week. We still have some trust issues in each other. I think that's what's happening on our misfits on some of the explosive runs. One guy seeing one thing and guy doesn't fit it right, so then he tries to make up for that guy, and then we get the same play the next play, and that guy tries to overcome the other guy's liability. And so, I've spent a lot of time this week trying to coach that, and doing your job, and not trying to make up for somebody else's liability. And but that's part of the process. I've said that back in the spring. One of the goals was to grow and continue to grow. And part of that growing is trusting each other in the defense. All 11 guys got to be on the same page. One guy cannot do his own thing. And, we just have to continue to coach that. And we got to do a better job with it. Been doing it this week. But I am pleased that, I think we're better in the passing game. We've done some things, changing our technique, and of course adding Jerry is a big deal. Jerry has done a really good job for us. Jeremy Smith had a good game last week. Our issues have been that, when you hand the ball off 38 times, it's an inside drill, 38 plays, and we have to fit every one of them up perfect, and that's a lot to ask when you have to commit so many people to the run game to stop them because of their ability to run the football. Last week, the week before, and so forth. Everybody's got to be perfect, and in order to do that, you have to trust that this guy next to you, the guy in front of you, is going to do his job. So that's part of the maturation process, of the defense. So we just got, we got to do a better job of coaching them and getting them to believe in each other, trusting the guy in front of them, beside them, and behind them to make everything work.